most amazing purchases I've at least heard of, that a product that has to fly in India, in Indian conditions, and ferry Indian VIPs, whose security would be paramount. Every person's security is paramount. You can't purchase equipment in which citizens of this country would die. Okay. But nevertheless, since it is VIP air purchase, its field trial is to take place in England. I've not heard of this. I want to buy a car that I want to drive in India, and I have to do a field trial of it in a country where the entire topographical or the weather or whatever conditions are different. Second, the defense minister, as one of my colleagues pointed out in a press conference, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, was initially, why should it be done, which was Mr. A.K. Antony in England. Eventually he decides to do so. Now Mr. A.K. Antony, whom the Congress party has taken pride is Mr. Clean, he may be Mr. Clean, why should we cast aspersions? The fact is he decided to change all this. Why? Now we have an investigation on by the CBI. Today, on perhaps your channel, other channels, the judge who has convicted these people in Italy says India was not interested. They were just not interested in it. During a period when the Supreme Court called the CBI a caged parrot.
It was an interview
castigated the Congress when there was scam after scam. So therefore, today when there is no castigation, my last sentence, when today there is no castigation, when over 100 witnesses have been looked at, investigations are on, what is innuendo? If they find prosecutable evidence, if they find that the charge sheet can be filed, whoever the person who has taken the bribe, leave all the names, they will do so.
Since Mr. Kohli, you brought it up, and since you've referred to the interview that Judge Maiga gave me a short while back, in fact earlier in the day at around 3 o'clock, let me ask this question of both of you. The charge is on 2 counts, that the UPA was not serious about getting to the truth, and that has been judiciously written into the judgment. And secondly, that the NDA has not approached the Italians for 181 boxes of evidence, prosecutable evidence, according to Judge Maiga, that is available to them. Now, my first question goes to Dr. Singhvi. Why, sir, were the Italian authorities, in the words of this judge, disappointed with the attitude of the UPA if you were so concerned about getting to the truth? Dr. Singhvi, not my words, the judge's words, the Italian prosecutor's words.
Rahul, actually, this part of what you are saying, today's words, are far less important and almost irrelevant compared to the earlier interview you gave. We have never said there's no wrongdoing. We are concerned that the names being taken are wrong. In your first interview, I've quoted that today chapter and verse, confirms in separate paragraphs by the same judge, the president of the tribunal, that there is nothing about Sonia Gandhi and nothing about Ahmed Patel. In fact, this is not an inquiry about them. If you find them against them in India, please take action. As far as your record thing is concerned, that is already there. It is already a finding in the judgment that only 3 documents were given.
Yeah, but why?
That is not a very serious culpability.
No, sir, it is. Because he makes the point. No, please, sir.
Let me answer.
No, please, because he makes the point.
One minute.
He makes the point that it weakened the case.
Let me answer. I know the point. It's not a new point. No, there's no question of case, because he says himself, I'm not trying Ahmed Patel or Sonia Gandhi or Indians or SP Tyagi even.
It's about establishing linkages.
There's no case. I'm saying something else. The reason is, no, he says, I have nothing to do with the Indians, not even Tyagi, who's much more directly involved. Therefore, the point really of the documentation is what happened was that there was a delay, the Italians got upset, forgetting 1 or 2 elementary things. Reason number 1, the delay happened because the government Ministry of Defence was very hesitant and chary of giving what they thought were confidential, either security defence documents or documents which would give away as to how bids are made. That's what created one set of delays. And that's maybe bureaucratic back and forth which could have been solved, but it just...
But it wasn't.
The second set of delays in the same process was because of translation delays. It led to a result of 1 year's delay.
Sir, if
you're right.
1 year...
But ultimately, the government of India stand remains that, look, what we had to give you...
The CBI registers an FIR in the case on March 12, 2013.
Not like that. There was back and forth.
No, let me... Okay, for a moment, let's even accept that. Yes. But let me draw your attention.
Rahul, how does it matter? You are convicting them in India.
No, 1 second.
You are convicting them in India,
because,
not in Italy.
Because there was an active probe there, which was compromised, and therefore the lower court had to give a non-guilty verdict, which was reversed by the appeals court, which is the High Court. So we know
Can I?
Well, 1 second.
Can I give you a small thing?
No, let me say.
Can I give you a small thing?
The CBI registers an FIR.
No, if we were suppressing... Sorry.
No, sir. Look at it. Look at the supplementary of this. The supplementary
Yeah,
is the
please go on.
CBI also
Please go on.
registers
Please
an
go on.
FIR
Please go on.
in the case on March 12, 2013, based on references made by
Yes.
Defence Ministry on February 12, 2013. But the CBI also doesn't bother to forward a copy of the FIR to Enforcement Directorate for 9 months. Strangely, the ED also sits tight. How does this happen?
Now come on. No. I think there's complete confusion. Let me clarify it. First of all, assume all this. It is a wholly red herring irrelevant argument, because what we should be concerned with is non-prosecutable evidence, non-charge sheet, non-trial, non-summons by the CBI for 24 months post-Modi government. Point number one, clear point. Assume we did everything culpable. We were in this game for less than a year during election time, hovering on the horizon from January 2000, because elections here take fever. In that 6 months our culpability compared to 24 months, you should have completely finished this in 24 months. Second point. You forget, one second. You forget that the ED cannot register, 1 minute. The ED cannot register a case. What you are thinking of a delay is not a delay. Because the ED can register a case only on a predicate offence. A predicate offence means the FIR must be registered on a regular case by the CBI first, on prevention of corruption. Once the CBI makes it a regular case, then only the ED offence, which has to be a predicate scheduled offence, arises. So the ED has to wait till the CBI does a proper registration of a full offence. So the ED is not a delay at all. The delay is really only one. 24 months
the CBI registered a case RC 217-2013-8003 on 12/3/2013 against Shri Gautam Khaitan. So there was already a case that was registered, bona fide case, and the ED
against Khaitan
should yes.
No.
But that was the obvious starting point.
The others.
So that was the obvious starting point. At least there was a starting point. We could have gone ahead. No, 1 second. 1 second, sir. Just give me 30 seconds, please. We are also joined by Union Minister Prakash Javadekar, who wants to come in also. Dr. Singhvi, you have a response coming in also from the Union Minister. I just want to bring it to his attention also. Sir, Judge Maiga, who has given me a second interview, Minister Javadekar, has said that there were delays on the part of the UPA in prosecuting this case. Now, he also says there are a lot of documents that are with him and with the Italian authorities that even the NDA is not demanded and they are not available with the CBI or the Enforcement Directorate. The Congress says on the one hand that you have been too slow. You are saying that the Congress has been too slow. Would you like to respond? Because Dr. Singhvi says we have done our homework. We registered a case. Investigations began. The BJP has been sitting on it for 2 years and has been dealing in innuendo and stretching it out to keep the pot boiling.
Let me correct Abhishek Singhvi. On 12 December 2012, I asked the question in whether you will have the CBI probe of the matter. Government said no. Then on 13th December, I wrote a letter. And then after 2 months, when the Italian took action against the bribe givers, I had the press conference and asked Congress, action has been taken in Italy on VIP helicopter scam. The CEO of the company has been arrested, but no action has been taken in India. The country that would have benefited from the deal has taken action, while country which has lost money has not done anything. And today, Anthony remembered that and said that we instituted and we wanted JPC also, but that's different. What is the malified action of Congress? They first compromise all stipulations just to reduce the number of competition from 6 vendors to only single vendor. Everything, cabin height, altitude and other stipulations were changed. One. Second, benchmark price was increased from 739 crore to 4,800 crore.
No, Minister Javadekar, I'll come to that second point.
Which we got.
Let's go point by point. No, let's go point by point. You have said that it was only at the instance of the NDA that the UPA decided to file a case. Dr. Singhvi, would you like to respond to that, sir? Was it pressure?
I think it's absolutely remarkable this is being said. between January 2013 and middle of 13, this Congress UPA government, A, cancelled, issued show cause, cancelled, invoked bank guarantee, filed a case for the balance, ultimately lost and then went in appeal later on down the year and won that, so that we've recovered 2,062 crores as against having paid them 1,586 crores. We have done everything. We started the banning process. In all this is span of 3 or 4 months. Now what happens after that? We reached the end of 2013. There are hardly a few months left for elections. Please ask what has been done in 24 months. You just asked a question about Judge Maiga saying about documents. Does it take the CBI and the ED under a hostile government of Mr. Modi to take these documents from Maiga in 24 months? Thirdly, I think it's absolutely remarkable to suggest that all this is not to be done in India. At the end of the day, we are doing circular reasoning and shadow boxing. If you are looking at Italy, because Italy is saying we are not even Tyagis are accused. Forget the Gandhis. Therefore, what will you get out of Italy? You had 24 months, you should have come to a charge sheet.
Okay.
What
Mr.
have you
Prakash
done in
Javadekar,
24 months?
24 months, no charge sheet.
Answer that question.
No charge
It
sheet.
will come sooner. It will come sooner. It will come sooner. It will come sooner. Today,
After 24 months.
Defence Minister Parrikar has said very categorically that the investigation is at advanced stage and I can't divulge the details, but the money trail we are correctly following and we will get the culprits and book them very soon.
Okay.
And there will be tough action.
Okay, I want to come to the larger point. Now, I also want to come to the larger point. No, 1 second.
Stop giving
No, 1
threats of
second. No, 1
promises.
second. No,
Do
Dr.
something.
Singhvi, Augusta was favored is the other big charge. It's not a charge that I am making. It's a charge that the CAG has made. And in
Yes,
front of
can
me
I answer?
is the CAG
Can I
report.
answer?
On certain
I must answer
important,
that.
in certain important
I
precepts,
must answer that.
the CAG said
Please,
that your
please.
government favored Augusta. I think the ministers also made that charge. There are 3 basic areas where favoritism is being suggested. Could you elaborate, Dr. Singhvi?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
First of all,
Just like
it's very
cabin
clear.
height, altitude and other
I don't know why it
stipulations
keeps
were
repeated
compromised.
despite it being crystal clear. One sec. Now, 3 points. Number 1, it is common ground. The decision that Mi-8 will be scrapped eventually and you will have new helicopters was taken in 99. Fact.
Yeah.
Not our decision to change Mi-8. Fact 2, the decision to have an
That is
RFP for the new helicopters, which might have had Augusta also, was in 2002. Augusta could not participate, but there was a 2002 RFP for helicopters. 3, on 2003 early and then finally writing in 2011, 19th November 2003, Mr. Brijesh Mishra, no less from the PMO, says, it is highly desirable to have 4,500 altitude and not 6,000 because 6,000 leads to a single vendor situation. Now, it is said that it is only desirability which Brijesh Mishra said, not mandatory. Let me accept it for a moment. The Congress UPA government adopts as mandatory what Brijesh Mishra calls highly desirable. That becomes a sin.
It
Now,
does,
what
because the
Brijesh Mishra
IF was
says should
objecting.
be reduced from 6,000 to 4,500 to 1 minute. 1 minute. When Brijesh Mishra says that to reduce 6,000 to 4,500 is to avoid a single vendor, our reductions to 6,000 to 4,500 becomes to create a single vendor.
Because, sir, we know
And
the
it's ridiculous.
the CAG has said that
Let
the
me tell you
revised
one more thing,
service
very
qualitative
striking,
requirements
very
led
striking.
to restricted competition.
You created.
The CAG
CAG
says,
is not God. Look.
Yes.
Forget CAG. CAG is not a judge. CAG is not a judge. I will quote you Mr. Modi in quotation.
No, then
Mr.
why
Modi
were you
has said
sending
3
the
times
CAG report
that
to the
CAG
Italians?
Reports, he said it on the record. I've got the quote with me.
no, if the CAG was such a loophole-driven,
No, I'm saying
loophole-driven
CAG reports are
organization,
not-
why did you send the CAG
One
report to the
minute.
Italians to prove their case?
But sir, I am telling you that if the CAG is God sent for you, then the CAG indictment applies as much to Mr. Javadekar as to me.
That's a different story.
Because the CAG indictment is reduction.
But sir,
reduction
if the
came
CAG
first
is
time
nothing
from
to
Mr.
you,
Brijesh Mishra.
if the
That's
CAG
point.
is nothing to you,
Now, secondly,
why did you
let me
forward
complete.
it? Why did you send it to the
No.
Italian court?
No, it's not.
That's the charge.
It is not nothing because CAG goes
Hello.
to PSC.
Hello.
PSC decides.
Okay, yeah.
नहीं मुझे
Both
ये
Mr. Modi have repeatedly said.
Okay.
PSC decides.
Okay,
We
let-
don't argue
let-
of CAG in a court.
let
I must
Mr.
tell you one more
Javadekar
thing,
rebut.
very important. This is a 2004 to no, one sec. 2004 to
See?
2010. There are two UPA governments, 6 years with 10 committees, totally comprising over 50 people. Do you think bribes are given like this, Rahul? That you decide to give a bribe in 2004-05?
I don't know, sir, because
You
the
wait for a
payments were
government
made.
to change, but how it will change,
The
nobody
payments
knows.
were made in installments.
And the
The
deal
judge
is
told
signed-
me they were made all the way
contract
till
is signed in
2012.
2010.
Okay, but the judge,
Please,
the payments
sir.
were made continually in tranches.
Please,
We don't know,
sir,
sir.
the contract was signed in 2010.
Okay, one second.
I know.
Let
I'm
me get
talking
the
of
other
political
side.
leadership.
Let
I'm
me
not
get the other
suggesting
side.
that some people didn't get money.
Okay, let's get the other
political
side.
leadership will get money beyond
1 minute.
2009 and 2010.
Let's get the other side. Mr. Javadekar.
Not knowing what will
One
happen
minute.
then.
Mr. Javadekar.
1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Arey, let me tell two facts. First, cabin height changes to 1.80 meters was done by UPA 1. Altitude change was done by UPA 1. And more importantly, the field trial was not conducted in India, not only in outside, but it was conducted
Let
on
me
a
come to
different
field trial.
helicopter,
Let me come
not
to
on the
field trial.
helicopter we purchased. And when we got 3 helicopters,
Let me come to field
and
trial.
when they were tested
Let me come to field
here,
trial.
they failed. They failed. In India, the 3 helicopters which are here today have failed. So it's a complete fraud done on the country.
Okay. Dr. Singhvi, a quick response and then an
Can I-
overall question.
Can I answer?
Yeah, please, go
Now
ahead.
let's come to field trials.
Yeah,
Field trials.
Yes.
I think nobody wants to listen. Field trial, 3 short simple answers. 1, normally field trials are always in India. 2, 2002 procurement policy, the para I think is 38. 2006 procurement policy, the para is some 55 or something. And 2016 most importantly procurement policy of defence, para 66-67. All clearly say, though it's desirable to have field trials in India, they clearly contemplate foreign field trials. So the point I made was, it's not a prohibition, it's not a sin. It can be done. It requires Defence Minister approval. Number 2, both the helicopters were given equal treatment. Sikorsky of USA was sent to US for trial. Augusta was sent to UK for trial. Incidentally, not Italy, as Dr. Swami always says. Both were treated equally, not discriminatorily. Third, Mr. Anthony
Abhishek,
questioned, saying
Abhishek,
that
just
normally
1 minute.
the rule
field
says
trial was
that you
not
must have,
conducted
please let me
on
complete.
101.
Please. Both were sent abroad for trial.
No, but sir, it was not conducted
Let me
on
complete,
101
sir, I've heard
because
you.
the
Let me
101 was
complete.
not
Now
manufactured.
let me complete.
Yeah.
I know, let me complete. Of course, everybody
That is
knows
what
that
I'm saying.
the 101 and what the field trial was a clone. The
But
101 was the
isn't it
modified
bizarre?
version which
You
we
want
got,
to buy an orange?
slightly modified.
No, but you want
and
to buy an
therefore
orange from a
ultimately-
farm, but you go and taste a lemon.
No,
Isn't
no.
it a bit strange,
It's not
sir?
an orange and apple. Not.
It's an orange
No,
and
no, it's
lemon,
not lemon.
scenario, sir, please.
The difference is that you want to buy a Nagpur orange. No, it's possible you want to buy a Nagpur orange and you get a Aurangabad orange. That's
But
the
sir, we
difference.
can't be playing with the lives of
And you
VVIPs.
tested it
at
and then
this.
you adapted
Okay, one
the
second.
Aurangabad orange to a
Mr.
Nagpur orange.
Mr. Javadekar who comes.
No.
No, Mr.
You
Javadekar who
adapted
comes
it.
from Maharashtra will give
It's
us the
not that
difference
the
between a Nagpur
specifications
orange.
changed.
No, Mr. Javadekar will come and tell us. He comes from Maharashtra. Mr.
Adapted.
Javadekar.
Orange can't be orange can't
No,
be
he knows
adapted.
his oranges.
Orange can't be adapted.
Sir,
but
you
the
may not
variants
know
can
your
be grown.
lemons. No,
Here
you may not
it
know
was
your
adapted.
lemons. No, you may not know your lemons, but he knows his oranges. Prakash Javadekar, please, go ahead.
See, because Nagpur orange has a peculiar taste. But more importantly, the 3 helicopters, 101, which we have today in India, are non-performing. They have failed in all the tests.
Okay. So your orange and
So
lemons
this
didn't
is
quite
shows
work out.
Contract
Smell
was
of
cancelled
oil transaction
well before this.
and
Sir, let me also say, look at what the CAG says, that there was overpricing. Look at the number of infractions. There was overpricing, there was excess procurement of helicopters, there was a delay in procurement, non-compliance with offset provisions. It goes on and on. How many allowances were made, sir, and why?
When Mr. Vajpayee, I'll tell you, this is very common in defense contracts. Everything has become culpable. Mr. Vajpayee's proposal was 6 helicopters to substitute for Mi-8. His government made it 8. Yes, the RFP changed from 6 to 8. By the time it came to UPA, it became 8 to 12. Everything is culpable. A bribe process started from 2004 and went on in 2010 when the contract was signed, knowing that a change of government would still give bribes to the political leadership because they were about to be re-elected. What kind of argument is this?
Okay,
there were 10 committees in these 6 years.
Quick response, because the defense minister made some of these points.
Can you believe?
Yeah,
I will answer. See, can you believe that all these favors to Augusta was done only by Tyagi? Now judge is giving interview to NewsX, and I must compliment you.
Thank you,
he is
sir.
saying that AP is a prominent Indian politician. So, Congress has to explain they were in power. Who is the AP in Congress?
Interview I read today.
Who is an important
I read today, he said nothing to do.
He says, I'll read out exactly what he said. I'll read out exactly what he says because it's important. Let me read out exactly what he said. He said, in verifying the validity, the initials are in the correspondent. Mr. Hashke in the trial said that he doesn't remember who it was. The possibility has been shown by one investigator who made this hypothesis that this initial could correspond to Mr. Ahmed Patel. Now, why would an why would an Italian probe? Why would an Italian investigator?
From the internet. Vernier, I read it today, sir. On page 1. Let me tell you. Let me please listen for a minute.